There was a funeral in the technology industry. Many of you missed it. A national brand is dead. BlackBerry. Remember these? BlackBerry is no more. And you want to understand what happened? A lot of you have said innovation is why BlackBerry and research in motion is gone away and is no longer, and all we have are these memories. Yes, innovation is true. That's a big part of it. But there's something else that I've noticed over the years that BlackBerry and research in motion, the parent company, completely missed. I'll give you a couple seconds to figure it out. See you on the other side. I'm just marveling at these devices and how impactful they were in our lives. And how many of you can remember you'd be in a conference meeting, you'd be at the airport, you'd be in a restaurant, and you see people with their head down with the device like this, and all you hear was the click, click, click of the keyboard. And if you didn't have one of these, you weren't part of the crew. You weren't in the in crowd, and you were cast aside if you didn't have a BlackBerry. We were called crackberries. That was a nickname we were given. But it's interesting, as so many of you have written me and texted me and said, what do you think really happened? Oh, it's innovation. Yes, innovation was a big part why BlackBerry is now dead. The biggest reason is because there's two things: an unwillingness to change and stubbornness. That's exactly why BlackBerry is now dead. And I remember at the time I was having problems with this New World edition when I got it somewhere back in 2010. I actually got 4 devices sent to me. The first one, the screen wasn't working. Second one, the battery was dead. The third one, the keyboard was stuck. And finally, the fourth one worked. And I remember emailing at the time CEO Mike Lazaridis of BlackBerry and Research in Motion, the parent company, and said, what the heck is going on with you guys? Your products now stink. They're defective and they don't really work. And he had a stubbornness in his tone. And I'm not knocking the guy. I mean, they created something phenomenal that we'll always remember. And hopefully these will be a collector's edition one day. And I'm glad I saved him. But in his tone, he was nice, but he was stubborn. They weren't willing to change. And they had a time to actually pivot and shift. And that's what companies have to do. Apple came out with the iPhone in 2007. BlackBerry had a number of years to follow suit. But when Apple came out with the no keyboard and just the screen, BlackBerry should have changed with the times. And I know their thought process was everybody loved these, and for a time it worked. But with apps and how things change, and we knew technology evolves, there's no way you could have used a static keyboard anymore. And the screens were so small. And I know they tried to change a little bit, but it was too late. And that's why brands like Sears and Kmart are basically no longer around. Sears is basically dying as well, a slow death, because they never wanted to innovate. When Walmart came into the picture and really started to take over, Sears could have innovated, and even Amazon. Sears was trying to go online back in the early 2000s. They never figured it out. But when you have a stubbornness and when you're unwilling to change and think about your customer, because they never thought about the customer, because what did the customer want? The customer was not migrating back to these. Customer wanted a screen where you could do so many different things, to be able to do so many amazing things on this device. And BlackBerry failed to do that. And that's exactly why. It's the stubbornness and the unwillingness to change with the mindset is why they're dead. That's all I got to say. It sucks, but that's what happens when these companies don't do this. Thanks for watching, everybody.